The story begins in a place that should feel familiar, a library, but something is deeply wrong. The moment the protagonist steps inside, the air is thick with the scent of old paper and something darker, metallic, like rust or dried blood. The shelves loom too tall, stretching into shadows where the ceiling should be, and the books are arranged in no logical order, some bound in cracked leather, others in materials that look disturbingly like human skin. The spines whisper when touched, not with words, but with faint, pained sighs. This is not just a forgotten library, it is a hungry one. The librarian, if they can even be called that, is a gaunt figure with sunken eyes, moving with the slow precision of someone who has been here too long. Their fingers are stained with ink, or is it blood? They do not greet the protagonist with warmth, only a hollow warning. Some books are best left unread. But of course, the protagonist ignores it. Why else would they be here? The atmosphere is heavy with inevitability. The library wants to be found. It has been waiting. This opening scene sets the tone for a gothic, almost Lovecraftian horror, a place where knowledge is not just forbidden, but alive, and the act of reading is not passive, but parasitic. The library is a predator, and the books are its teeth. The protagonist, like all who came before them, has already stepped into its jaws. The deeper the protagonist ventures into the library, the more the air thickens, not just with dust, but with something heavier, like the weight of unseen eyes watching. Then, they find it. A book, unlike any other. It sits alone on a stone pedestal, untouched by the decay that clings to everything else in this place. The cover is neither leather nor parchment, but something disturbingly organic, warm to the touch, pulsing faintly as if breathing. The title shifts like liquid, letters dissolving and reforming in no language the protagonist recognizes, yet somehow they understand it. When they open it, the pages are blank at first, but then a paper cut, a single drop of blood falls onto the page. The moment it touches the paper, the droplet spreads like ink, forming words in jagged crimson script. Not just any words, their words. A sentence written in their own voice, as if pulled from their mind. You shouldn't have come here. The protagonist staggers back, but the book reacts. The words shift, rearrange, and new ones emerge. Phrases they've thought in secret, memories they've buried. The more they read, the more the book feeds, drawing deeper from them. Their nose begins to bleed. Their fingertips tingle as if something inside them is being siphoned away. The book isn't just reading them, it's writing them. This scene transforms the story from eerie mystery to visceral horror. The book is not a passive object, but a parasite, one that doesn't just record its victims, but rewrites them. Every drop of blood, every stolen thought, is another sentence in a story that the protagonist is no longer controlling. It reflects the reader's deepest self, their fears, regrets, hidden shames, but it does so not to enlighten, but to consume. The more they read, the less of themselves remains. The protagonist came seeking knowledge, but now they are no longer the reader, they are the text. Their body, their mind, their very life is becoming raw material for the book's next chapter. Like addiction or self-destruction, the book offers truth at a cost that escalates too quickly to escape. The protagonist could walk away now, but they won't. They can't. The question is no longer what the book will reveal, but how much of the protagonist will be left when it's done. The protagonist staggers through the labyrinth of shelves, their breath ragged, their vision blurred from blood loss and creeping dread. That's when they find him, the librarian. Not the hollow-eyed specter from before, but a broken figure slumped in the shadows, his fingers tracing the scars on his arms with a terrible familiarity. The scars are not random, They are words, lines of text carved into his flesh, some old and faded, others fresh and glistening. The same script as the book, the same voice. "You've been reading it," the librarian says, not as a question but as a eulogy. His voice is dry, like pages turning in an empty room. "I tried to warn you, but the book, it always finds a way to be heard." And then the truth spills out of him like ink from a wound. He was once like the protagonist, a seeker, a scholar, a fool who thought the library's secrets were meant to be uncovered. The book showed him things too, his past, his future, the exact moment he would kneel before it and offer up his skin for its next binding. He fought, he burned pages, he tried to flee, but the library does not let go of what it claims. Now, he is its caretaker, its prisoner, its living testament. The words on his arms are not scars, they are chapters. Every visitor who has ever succumbed to the book's hunger is etched into him, their stories written in his flesh. "It's already starting with you," he murmurs, reaching out to touch the protagonist's wrist. There, beneath the skin, faint but undeniable, the first letters of a sentence they did not write. This scene is where the full weight of the curse crashes down. The librarian is not just a warning, he is a preview. The book does not just consume minds, it inscribes itself onto its victims. The librarian's body is a living manuscript, a grotesque testament to the library's appetite. His scars are not just his own, they are the echoes of every soul the book has digested. His fate is not unique. It is cyclical. The protagonist now sees their future in his ravaged flesh. The book is not just reading them. It is drafting them, preparing their body as its next vessel. The librarian's confession confirms the horror. The book always wins. Resistance is just another paragraph in its narrative. The question is no longer whether the protagonist will escape, but how much of themselves they will lose before they become the next librarian. The air in the library grows thicker, each breath like swallowing damp parchment. The protagonist's hands shake, not from fear now, but from something worse, recognition. The book's words have seeped too deep, and the line between reader and text has begun to dissolve. The walls whisper, not in voices, but in letters. The grain of the wood forms sentences. The cracks in the stone bleed ink. The protagonist's own skin prickles, the sensation of something crawling beneath it. Not insects, but words, pushing up from within, etching themselves between muscle and bone. They claw at their arms, but the more they struggle, the clearer the script becomes. It was always going to end this way. The library's corridors stretch and warp, a living thing toying with them. Every turn leads back to the book. Every mirror shows a stranger, a hollowed-out version of themselves, mouth moving in silent recitation of a story they don't remember writing. Their reflection reaches out, and for a horrifying moment, they feel the glass give way like skin. Then, the final betrayal. Their own voice, speaking in a language they've never learned. The book is no longer just in front of them. It is in them, and it is finishing its final chapter. This is the point where the horror ceases to be external. The protagonist isn't just reading the book. They are becoming it. The physical transformation is irreversible. The words aren't just on their skin, they are replacing it. Each breath is a paragraph. Each heartbeat, a punctuation mark. The library as a living organism. The building itself is complicit, shifting to keep them trapped. It is no longer a place, it is a digestive system, breaking them down into raw material. Even their voice is no longer their own. The book has overwritten them entirely. The question is no longer about survival. It's about how much will be left to bury. The protagonist collapses before the book, their body a patchwork of ink and blood, their veins dark with words that do not belong to them. The air hums with the sound of 1,000 unseen pens scratching against paper. The book lies open, its pages now a mirror of their ruined flesh, every scar, every wound transcribed in meticulous looping script. They try to scream, but their throat produces only a dry rasp, the sound of a page turning. Then the final sentence appears, written not in blood, but in something deeper, something essential. And so, protagonist's name became the next librarian. Their hand moves without their consent. Fingers, stiff as parchment, curl around a rusted pen that was not there a moment before. They watch, detached, as their own arm plunges the nib into the crook of their elbow, drawing forth not blood, but ink. The pen hovers over the book's last blank page. They sign their name. The moment the final stroke is completed, the library exhales, a sigh of satisfaction, of a story well ended. The protagonist's vision blurs, their body stiffening, their skin leaching of color until it resembles vellum. Their last human thought is not fear, but a terrible, quiet understanding. They were never the reader. They were always the text. The horror of the ending. This is not a death. It is an assimilation. Signing their name is not an act of will. It is the book's final victory. Their identity, their memories, their very body now belong to the library's archives. Just as the previous librarian warned, the curse is self-sustaining. The protagonist's transformation ensures there will always be a caretaker to lure the next victim. It is merely a tool. The true horror is the library itself, an entity that consumes lives to grow its collection, endlessly hungry, endlessly patient. This was never their story. It was the library's, and it is always looking for new material. Would you like to explore the aftermath, the next poor soul who stumbles through those doors, or let the horror linger in the silence of the final page? If you enjoyed this video, here's a quick task for you. Hit that subscribe button and don't forget to tap the bell icon next to it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.